U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is facing his worst nightmare. What he feared most is happening right now. As oil prices surge once again, a hidden flaw in the global financial system is being exposed, and it all hinges on one critical month: a fragile Japanese yen, and an escalating, high-stakes showdown in the Strait of Hormuz. Welcome back to the channel. Earlier, whenever international oil prices surged, it strengthened the US dollar index and reinforced dollar dominance. But right now, the US is trapped. Washington can neither afford a dollar that is too weak, nor can it tolerate a dollar that is too strong. Why? Because of a massive deadweight dragging the global economy down, the Japanese yen. Following recent statements from Donald Trump, crude oil prices jumped by several percentage points. Trump claimed that US forces effectively control the Strait of Hormuz and have cleared naval mines to calm market anxieties. But the markets didn't buy it. Instead, the immediate side effect hit the currency markets. Rising oil pushed inflation fears up, sending the Japanese yen sliding straight from 158 into the 159 range against the US dollar. This leaves the US with an extremely delicate problem. Small fluctuations in oil directly trigger turbulence in the yen. With the Bank of Japan's next policy meeting scheduled for mid to late September, the US Treasury faces a tense, nail-biting month. While a joint US-Japan currency intervention remains on the table, the timing, scale, and execution must be absolute perfection, otherwise, billions in reserves could be burned with zero impact. Why can't oil prices just cool down? Because negotiations between the US and Iran have reached a complete stalemate. Look at what both sides are demanding. Tehran's conditions: full US troop withdrawal, massive financial compensation, and unfrozen assets. Washington will never agree to this. Washington's counter-demands: Trump retaliated by demanding compensation from Iran, insisting it be part of future talks. Tehran will never accept this either. When both sides make outrageous demands, it means one thing: the Strait of Hormuz will not fully open anytime soon. Looking closely at the dynamic, three stark realities emerge. Zero mutual trust. Whether it's temporary terms, memorandums of understanding, or long-term deals, there is no foundation for execution. Hardliners in power. Recent leadership reshuffles inside Iran have brought increasingly uncompromising hardliners into top positions, making diplomatic breakthroughs nearly impossible. The midterm election dilemma: oil at $80 to $90 a barrel is manageable under normal circumstances. But with US midterm elections fast approaching, Washington cannot afford a prolonged energy crisis. If Tehran deliberately escalates tension to spike oil prices before the elections, Washington faces a lose-lose choice: yield to keep oil calm and look weak to voters, or stand firm and let rising gas prices ruin election prospects. Iran knows this, and they are betting heavily on US political vulnerability. In response to this chaos, Scott Bessent recently made a bold statement: the Strait of Hormuz will lose its strategic importance in the future. Is that just political bluster? Not entirely. It boils down to two key motivations: short-term verbal intervention, managing market panic and dampening immediate oil speculation, and long-term capital migration. Capital prioritizes safety above all else. Transit through a narrow choke point is only profitable when it is secure. If hostilities had wrapped up months ago, shipping lanes and maritime insurance rates might have stabilized. But as time drags on and Iran continues targeting commercial vessels, global capital is forced to permanently recalculate risks. As a result, regional producers like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iraq are aggressively expanding onshore oil pipelines. The longer this crisis continues, the more determined the world becomes to bypass the Strait of Hormuz altogether. However, holding the choke point is a double-edged sword for Tehran as well. Nearly 90% of Iran's crude exports rely on its facility at Kharg Island inside the Gulf. Yet paradoxically, Iran relies heavily on imports for a significant portion of its domestic refined fuel. Blocking the strait hurts Washington, but it also chokes Iran's own economic lifeline and paralyzes its trade. Both nations understand that this conflict can no longer be resolved through simple diplomacy. What we are witnessing today is a full-scale war of economic, financial, and energy attrition. The next month will be a decisive window not just for Scott Bessent and the US Treasury, but for global energy markets and currency stability. Will crude oil break past $90? Will the yen force an unprecedented joint intervention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next geopolitical update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.